This is $500,000. Obviously, this is fake money, but if I had $500,000 in cash, this is what it would look like. And this also happens to be the amount of money that I may have lost because I went to college. Let me explain. Let's jump right into it. First of all, let's clean up a little bit. What is going on, everyone? I hope you are all having a fantastic day. So, I'm just gonna get this out of the way now. This is not gonna be one of those videos where I'm telling you that college is a waste of time and that everyone should just avoid college and that the whole system is a scam. Because while that absolutely is true in some situations, it's all really just one big math problem. And that's why in the title I said college sucks, usually. And the last thing that I will say before we get into the numbers is that I am by no means ungrateful or dissatisfied by the opportunity that I had to go to college, because I fully recognize that not everyone has that opportunity. But as a financial nerd myself, I can't help but look back on the numbers and of course wonder what things might look like for me financially had I not gone to college right now, and what they might look like in the future as well. Well, I'm a numbers guy, so let's take a look at the numbers. So for those of you who haven't seen my other videos on this topic, just to bring you up to speed really fast, I just graduated college a few months ago as a double major in finance and a bunch of other stuff that really isn't important for this conversation. And I went to an in-state school, I was an RA, which means my housing was free, and I also graduated a year early to save money on that extra year. And the reason I tell you all of this is because despite all of those facts that I just told you, you might be surprised to learn that my degrees still cost me $48,221.66. Now, a lot of you will probably say that that is very low, considering some people pay more than that for 1 year of college, and that absolutely is true, but the issue with this logic is that the true cost of going to school is not usually what you're actually paying, unless you go to some really insanely overpriced college, but it's actually what's called opportunity cost. If you've ever taken any basic economics course, then I am sure you are familiar with opportunity cost, but without boring you to death, essentially opportunity cost represents what you are missing out on, also referred to as the next best option, because of a choice that you made with another alternative. If that's a little bit confusing, don't worry about it too much, but for the sake of our conversation today, what that means is because I and many others made the choice to go to school, yes, you're incurring the cost of actually going to college and the tuition and all of that stuff, but you're also giving up 4 years in most situations that you could be earning a salary or making some other form of income by doing something else. And that is where the true cost of college really lies. So it's really next to impossible to estimate what I could have earned had I just started working right out of high school, but my estimate and the reason that I'm actually making this video is directly tied to what I'm doing here on YouTube. Now, I've made a few videos about my income from this channel and even the cost associated with running this channel, which also might be very interesting to you. So if you are curious about any of those things, then definitely check out those videos. But long story short, I wanted to make a YouTube channel for a very long time, and I pushed it off because of one thing or another, and I'm very glad that I did eventually decide to just get started, because it took me a very long time to figure out how to make a decent video, and honestly, I'm still trying to figure it out 200 plus videos later. But by the time I had graduated college, this YouTube channel was and continues to pay me significantly more than any job offer that I received in the various fields that I applied for. Now, again, I want to reiterate that I am not complaining by any means, and I am incredibly grateful to have had the opportunity to both go to college and for all of your support on this channel while I was going to college. So the point that I'm trying to make here in a roundabout way is, let's say I had started this channel immediately after graduating high school, and I was able to focus on it full time because I wasn't sitting in lecture halls watching old movies for a film class that I was forced to take. Well, in the first year, this channel only made about $10,000, which is great for a first year here on YouTube, but you can't really live on 10,000 bucks, and I don't know if my parents would have got behind that. But in the second year, which is what we are currently in, year to date, this channel has made a little over $180,000 with 2 months left before the end of this year. And my hope is that that income will continue to grow for several more years. So it's impossible to estimate what could have been and what could be for this channel in the future, but let's just say that for my first year out of high school, I made the $10,000 that this channel did earn, and then we can move on to the second and third years from there. So if we then add on the second year, which would have been my sophomore year of school, which is actually when I did start this YouTube channel, let's say I earned the estimated $225,000 or so that this channel will probably close this year at, being year 2. And then let's assume a fairly conservative revenue growth of 25% for year 3, which would have been my last year of school in my situation, meaning that this could have been about $281,000 for the third year. So if we add all of those numbers together and add the roughly $48,000 that it actually cost me to attend college, then without accounting for any other possible streams of income like getting a regular job, that means that by pushing off this YouTube channel and going to college and spending that money and spending that time, it could have easily cost me over $500,000. Okay, but let's stop right there because this entire example focuses on a ton of what ifs and what could have been, and I do not like to live that way. And as you may remember at the beginning of the video, I was curious about what my financial situation would look like not only today if we calculated it like we just did, but also what it would look like going forward for the long-term future. If I'm being completely honest, if this channel was able to continue at this pace for the next 10 years, I would be kind of shocked and delighted at the same time. So my point is, I fully recognize that doing all of this on YouTube might not last forever, and while I absolutely could do other things, and I love the idea of working for myself, let's just assume that at some point I would have to get a standard W-2 job, which is totally fine. Well, in that case, the argument that we hear all the time that a college graduate will earn more throughout their career than a high school graduate definitely comes into play. Now, there have been a million different studies and articles done on that very topic and debate, but the general consensus seems to be that over your entire career, a college graduate could easily earn $1 million more than a high school graduate. Now, I'm hesitant to throw that blanket statement out there because this depends on so many different variables, including what career you're in, what college degree you earned, nor do I want to neglect the fact that you absolutely can make some serious money without a college degree, like we just talked about in the previous example. But for the sake of playing devil's advocate here and not just saying that college sucks and you shouldn't go to school like a lot of other people online, because again, that definitely is not true for everyone, I will say that personally, despite the fact that it may have cost me $500,000, I do not regret going to school. I'm grateful to have had that opportunity to do so, and ironically, it all kind of worked out for me anyways because I actually had to finish my entire degree online because the world kind of turned upside down, meaning I was able to spend a lot of time on this channel, and that's really what got it off the ground. So was this a $500,000 mistake after all? In my opinion, absolutely not, for me at least. But like I said earlier, the decision of whether or not college is a good fit for you is really just one big math problem, and you must objectively look at not only the numbers and the financial side of things, but of course also take into account what actually makes you happy and what you want to do with your life. And finding that balance between those two things might be difficult because they might give you completely different answers. Like, I'm really happy for you if you have a passion for photography, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to get a 4-year bachelor's degree and a master's degree in photography in order to succeed as a photographer. Plus, if you think about the opportunity cost of someone like a doctor or a lawyer, then that cost can go through the roof because it could easily take 8 or more years for them to actually start working, meaning not only are they spending a ton of money and probably accruing a lot of debt, but that also means that they are foregoing 8 years that they could be earning a full-time salary, and if you do the math, then it could be impossible for them to actually make that up throughout their career, even if they are making a really good salary throughout those years. Obviously, all of those things are really extreme examples, but there are a ton of different degrees and fields of study that unfortunately just don't pay in terms of a return on your investment. Now, the other side of that coin is obviously choosing a school that is affordable and isn't charging a ridiculous amount of money for a degree that you could have gotten for a lot cheaper somewhere else. So before you make any decisions, be sure to actually crunch the numbers and objectively decide whether or not it is a good financial investment of not only your money, but also an investment of your time. And remember, be sure to account for the opportunity cost of what you could be doing instead of attending school, and then you'll hopefully be able to make the right decision for you. So is college and the ridiculous amount of debt that often comes with it a huge mistake? Yes, for a lot of people, but if you're smart about what you decide to study, you earn a degree quickly and efficiently from an affordable program, and you're able to apply that degree and turn it into a higher earning potential, then college is absolutely worth it, even in today's world, and you're also going to learn a lot of things about yourself outside of the classroom. classroom. So I would love to know what your thoughts are on this whole college debate down in the comment section below, especially with how different the college landscape now looks with so many degree programs being completely online. And I'd also love to know whether or not you plan on attending school, and if you do, what do you plan on studying? As always, if you did get value out of this content and you want to help support me, the easiest way to do that is actually by checking out some of my favorite financial tools down in the description below, including one offer from the Point Cashback debit card that will currently give you $100 when you sign up and make your first purchase. So definitely check that out using the link down in the description. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future. And of course, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it so much. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.